Welcome back to Steve's World of Wonders.
I was walking along Wellington Street and I noticed this magnetic poetry board. That's pretty fun. What is still divine among sound of stars, a wild void that is love? Was the true epic vision of the word home or tiny of blue to moments of the sun said? Surreal description falling explanation. Let the sun fall in my micro brain. Beneath here, blue sky sunbath feast. Here's a big one here. Across the sea of time, in an accidental storm, we take little trip in a tiny ship, a dinghy borne upon these dark waters, each a lonely island in the confine of time and language. Spray of blood, silence, solitary soul, sail in the light. Come yonder and reveal to me the way in time and law. Worlds be a psychedelic graveyard. Hold the galactic algorithm. Maybe it may go on. Things have allowed my mind to rise into the cloud, twist into objects, and the transition dance as a sea ghost blooming together. Cloudless bodies linger through the world toward my vacant spirit. I'll sing for the ship of the north. All right, let's try and make one. Every bone every bone could every bone could cross. Everything could. All who want everything could fool my star-spoke universe. There's my poem. This is the side of it here. They've put up construction on there so the rest of it doesn't fall apart.
Well, the future of a building that stood for more than 140 years is now up in the air.
Magee House in Hintonburg has been condemned. The question is whether to repair it or tear it down. The building is located on Wellington West near Rosemount Avenue. CTV's Annie Bergeron-Oliver has more from the street. Annie.
Well, Patricia, people have been gathering here all day just to see what happened, and that's because this wall came crumbling down yesterday without any warning. Now, because this building is unstable, the entire area around it has been blocked off. Several businesses are closed, a number of residents displaced, and the owner that we talked to earlier today, well, he says he's lucky to be alive. It's a side of Magee House nobody thought they'd see.
It's a good thing that I went because I'd be dead now. On the second and third floor.
Ovidio Zabrisa has owned the heritage home on Wellington West for 17 years. Tuesday night, he was sitting at his desk when a neighbor asked him for dinner. While he was out, the side of his limestone building gave way.
That wall, some of it fell inwards and some of it fell out, and my station where I was working was right against that wall.
The home was built in 1874 by Hintonburg pioneer Francis Magee. Since then, it's been a bank, a hardware store, and a community staple.
When it was first built, Hintonburg was largely undeveloped.
A lot has changed since it went up, and that is why area councillor Jeff Leeper says Magee House needs to be preserved.
This neighborhood is changing so much. We're surrounded by new construction all around us, and having those touch touchstones to the past is really important for a neighborhood that's in transition.
But the decision about what happens to this building is largely out of the owner's hands. Because it has a heritage designation, the city has a major say in its future. Until the collapse, the city thought the building was vacant. Attempts to contact anyone living there failed. Now, a local engineering firm has been hired to find out how much damage was done and whether this home can be saved.
Very speculative at this time. I really do need to await the investigation report so we have a better sense of what going forward really looks at.
Until that review is complete, the building will be closed off, considered a risk to public safety, leaving Sabrisa in limbo.
It hasn't sunk in yet. What it's like to see it now.
Now, the owner says he doesn't know exactly what caused this wall to collapse, but he does question whether it has to do with vibration from construction in the area. The city says it has no evidence towards that point, but it says it's looking into every possibility. As for this road closure, well, it's going to be in effect for quite some time, and they can't give us an exact because all of this depends on that engineering report to determine whether or not this building is stable enough to reopen the road. Michael?
The owner is one lucky man. CTV's Annie Bergeron-Oliver reporting live for us tonight. Thank you, Annie. CTV Ottawa has extended coverage of the wall collapse on Wellington. Visit us online at ottawa.ctvnews.ca.
Last night, the city retained a structural engineer to undertake a review of the building to investigate and determine status of the building. That was Stantec Engineering. A verbal report was given last night after very much a visual inspection of the building from distance. The statement was that the building was under some form of distress, and there could be the potential of further collapse.
Council in 1996 put a protection on the building, a heritage protection, that identified various attributes of the building, its mansard roof, its windows, its stone walls. It's quite a unique building in Hintonburg, and so there is protection on that building, so if there's any alterations or any replacement of that building, it needs to follow the guidelines that were established back in 1996 for that property specifically. In 2017, there were orders issued on the building pertaining to some of the heritage attributes, and those orders were partially complied with, and I'll provide more information on that next week at Build Heritage Subcommittee. It was on our quote-unquote watch list of buildings where we were regularly inspecting every 2 months visually the heritage attributes of the building. So I can confirm it was visually inspected as recently as June, and then it's been dating back every 2 months prior to that for about the last 2 years. We thought it was a vacant building, so our watch list of buildings are buildings that what we've deemed from observational analysis or through speaking with the property owner that they are vacant. I was surprised to learn that there was someone living there.
There's a better look at it. They've got this sign here. I wish this was restored. Harry Styles' house. A cheap grocery store. A no-waste grocery store. A rehab center. Lansdowne 2.0. A dog stop. A park. A place to make friends. Community gathering place. A disco club. Torn down. And then somebody's written One Love here. Some of these are good ideas. And the magnetic poetry, that was right over here. There's the front doors there. Corn. It's corn. And I thought this was pretty. The little buds here. Kind of nice.